We heard earlier that the lawyer asked Jesus, "Who is the neighbor whom I should love as myself?" The same question is being given to us every day, brothers and sisters. Do we recognize who our neighbors are? Do we love them as we love ourselves? First, let us recall the parable. There was a man traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho. On his way, robbers stripped and beat him, leaving him almost dead. A priest happened to be passing the same road, but he walked on the other side when he saw the man. A Levite did the same. Then a Samaritan traveler came, saw the man, attended to his wounds, and then took him to an inn where he instructed the innkeeper to take care of the man while he was away. Jesus asked the law scholar, which of these three was neighbor to the man? He answered, the one who treated him with mercy. Go and do likewise, Jesus said. Friends, a neighbor is anyone in need. And being a neighbor is opening oneself to the other, especially to the person in a helpless situation, regardless of a person's background. Being a neighbor is making myself available to another whom I see as a neighbor and not as a stranger. Jesus keeps on teaching us in the Gospels that love of God is always connected with love of neighbor. In fact, He demonstrates to us that our love of God should lead us to love and serve the poor, the sick, the marginalized, the refugees, the victims of various types of oppression and violence. Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI taught us, in opening myself to others, I am also opening myself to God, because the good of others is the concern of God. And if I love God, His concern is also my concern. And by reaching out to those in need, regardless of who or she may be, we get to learn how the love of God knows no boundaries. Pope Francis challenges us, those who frequent the house of God and are aware of His mercy know how to love the other. This is addressed to us, the community of believers. Do we recognize our neighbors? And do we love and serve them? Are we troubled by their sufferings? Are we moved to lend them a hand? Pope Francis further tells us to ignore human suffering means to ignore God. How is this? Because God so identified Himself with the poor that whatever we do or fail to do to the least of our brothers and sisters, we do or fail to do to God. So friends, who is your neighbor? Have you found him or her? Have you been a neighbor to them? I hope we learn to recognize in each other a neighbor who needs loving concern and mercy. After all, we are all God's children. We are bound to each other.